Joe's gonna say it was 17 cents a gallon. That'll be great. Yeah, let's talk about that. No, not happening. And it's gonna end up hurting us more than helping us, and that's of course why fears of a recession are intensifying around the country. If you guys don't know, a lot of big banks and everything else are of course pulling that same way. If you guys can afford to donate tonight, we are raising money, of course, for retinal reconstruction surgery for my brother. So if you can afford to donate, every dollar helps. Please, if you guys, every dollar helps. My volume is low. Let me turn that up a little bit for you guys. Oh, or let me just turn my microphone so you guys can hear me a little bit better. But please, if you guys can, every dollar counts. But anyways, getting on to the news tonight. Japan has tracked at least 8 Russian and Chinese warships near its territory today, showing arm or escalations even in the Pacific or the Pacific front. As of course, Chinese warplanes have been flying over Taiwan today as well. Just one thing after another. Escalations coming from all around, though, because, of course, even in Ukraine right now, Zelensky is begging the EU as Russia is pounding the cities there. It is sad to see that, of course, the devastation, but they left Russia with no choice. We keep sending weapons in. What do you think Russia's going to do? They're going to keep fighting back and pushing forward. It's an endless battle as Russian forces pound Ukraine's second city after Law. It's Kharkiv is getting hit hard. Of course, Zelensky is of course, hailed the European Union accept offers of candidacy statuses, and his battle worry nation as Russia forces pound it even harder. The second biggest city of Kharkiv is falling to Russia without a question. European leaders will formally set Ukraine on the long road to EU membership at the summit in Brussels on Thursday. Though mainly symbolic, the move will help lift nations' morale in a very difficult time. For the fourth month of conflict, it has thousands killed, displaced millions, and flattened cities and towns. The war has also had a massive impact on global economies. Europe's security arrangements driving up gas prices, oil, and food prices, pushing the EU to reduce the heavy reliance on Russian energy and prompt Finland and Sweden to seek NATO membership. This is all coming in a time where we need everybody to be standing together. Yes, Billy, you can call in anytime. You know that. You don't have to ask. You could just call in. I'm always ready for you. It is sad, though, watching what's happening. It is sad. We got so much happening all at once. that it is going to affect us. Of course, Moscow threatens the NATO, of course, members because Lithuania is, of course, banning its transit on goods to its province inside of there. How you doing tonight, Billy?
Chris, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Another day, another day. That's all I know. A lot of news, a
Yeah,
lot
I
of stuff
like what you
happening at
posted on
once.
Facebook before, those statistics with the shootings. That was really informative.
Yeah, that's last year and this year so far. So it's really,
Yeah,
really, it's surprising. You see how few are actually interacted with police.
yeah.
And
Hey, so I wanted to talk about this whole thing with Russia and Lithuania. Now, Lithuania, by enforcing those sanctions and closing off the rail traffic through their country to go to Kaliningrad, can that be classified
that is a
as a
classification as
blockade?
escalation of war,
So that that
according to
that
the
could be
1945
classified
agreement.
as a blockade, correct?
Yes, that classifies an
Okay.
escalation to war as
So
of the
so
1945.
why isn't anybody in the media questioning that now? Why isn't anyone saying to themselves, "Hey, wait a second. Why is NATO getting involved here?" Because Lithuania is NATO, so apparently they're being told to do this because they're a 4 million people country. They have no power at all. Okay, the military is nothing. They're just protected by NATO. Why is NATO not being questioned in the United States, who is obviously behind this, by provoking this? And they're basically trying to draw Russia into attacking or doing something to Lithuania in order for NATO to unleash their might, which is
Well,
what NATO wants to do.
here's the thing. I don't think it's necessarily NATO getting involved here. I think this is directly Lithuania seeing if Article 5 will even get pulled, which I don't think it will because there are now NATO countries stating that they will not stand with an Article 5.
Oh
They're
wait,
now
isn't
standing
it
against
also
Russia.
isn't it also correct? Correct me if I'm wrong, but Article 5 can only be invoked to come to the aid of a country that is attacked, not come to the aid of a country that actually provokes or attacks first. Correct?
Article 5 is protecting all of the EU, whether they start it or not. But Article 5 also specifies that the countries do not have to follow it. And right now, NATO is on a very crumbly cookie. It's ready to fall apart at this point. And if you watch what's happening, a lot of NATO members are saying, well, we need Russian oil and Russian gas. And that's a big turning point
Yeah.
after they decided this all together. And if they do branch out and take the natural gas and oil from Russia, it shows that they're not standing with NATO anymore.
So now I saw the Prime Minister of Russia speak on a video on YouTube from a news channel today, and I guess it was either today or yesterday. It was recorded. Now
Mhm.
they said that they're drawing up plans. Now, what those plans are, I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. But what do you think Russia's going to do?
I don't know. What I see Russia doing is literally there. I don't know if you guys heard about today. Some nuclear talks were happening in Russia. Besides those plans, about a way to basically stop any nuclear arms from being used after they were to launch theirs. Basically, launching enough nuclear material into the air where the U.S. would be concerned that nuclear winter is already going to happen, but how much would they want it to push it further? And that's a scary situation when talks like that are happening because that means Russia doesn't fear a nuclear winter. I mean, they've been able to store their crops, they haven't been selling them. They have enough
Yeah,
oil, they have enough natural gas, they have plenty of stuff to keep their people warm. Yeah, it'll be
and then
hard.
and their doctrine is different than ours. Where our doctrine, when it comes to nuclear war, is assured mutual destruction. Where the Russians actually believe that they can win a nuclear war by doing a substantial first strike by taking out our capabilities for retaliation. Am I right or wrong with that?
No, the U.S. actually changed its stance. We are no longer a mutually assured destruction because we want to allow the world to survive even if we cannot. That was changed back when Obama was in office, when
So
Minutemen were laid off.
what's the doctrine then with the U.S. regarding nuclear weapons?
The U.S. would only use nuclear weapons during a direct engagement, but they would not go as far as causing a nuclear winter. That means if Russia launches enough nuclear material that it could cause nuclear winter without hitting the United States directly, the United States wouldn't use nuclear weapons to retaliate. And that is a big factor. I mean, what's stopping Russia from using them then?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, do you see Russia maybe doing a blockade of any ports that Lithuania has? Because I was looking at the map, and Lithuania is a small country, so it doesn't have much coastline there. So
it's not just Lithuania. Like the ships that are heading towards Russia or Japan now, China and Japanese or China ships and Russian ships are heading towards Japan. They have military flybys, and of course, the whole of what's it called encircled with ships. China already does to move in on Taiwan. They're ready for a major war.
And yesterday I saw that Russian helicopters violated Estonia's airspace.
Yeah, for almost 4 minutes.
Yeah.
No, they didn't even care. I mean,
well, Russia's going to do something about this whole thing with the blockade, because they can't just say that they're going to, do something and then not do it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that they're going to do something. But I also heard that those 2 battalions of the Polish troops that were in Ukraine for the past couple of weeks, that Russia destroyed them. Did you hear that also?
Yep, gone. And now they're talking about any U.S. citizen that has been seized is a criminal of war, which technically they are, because they are not involved in the war directly. They're a criminal of war, and they could be executed. And Russia, I believe, is going to execute them. It's sad. But we shouldn't be. Here's the thing is, 2 of the troops, or 2 of the guys that were over there that they've caught, were active duty military on paid leave. Now, have you ever heard of active military in the U.S. being on paid leave?
Not paid leave, but you do have leave. You get 30 days a year, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I got when I was in the military.
These guys are on paid leave. They're being paid full salaries, like a deployment salary, but they're on leave.
Yeah.
Now, does that make any sense?
Well, people got to understand, if you take it upon yourself to go and fight for Ukraine besides them against Russia, and you're not doing it in the capacity of the United States military or whatever, why are you doing it for? For what? What cause? First of all, if you have a family, why are you doing it? If you get hurt or get killed, your family gets nothing. You're not in the military. You're not getting insurance money. Well, for what reason? What? Because the media says that Russia's a bad guy and Ukraine's the victim, and we got to go out there. And then here's another thing: if Zelensky is so busy fighting this war or managing the war, why does he have time for all these Hollywood stars, Ben Stiller and all these other idiots, to go and visit him? He has time for that?
Yeah, that's something I don't understand either. Is where is he, and how are these people getting in and out of the country so easily? And there's so many problems
why
with
American citizens allowed to visit Ukraine during a wartime?
Well, like, why would the U.S. reopen its embassy during wartime in a country that we are not at any means contracted to defend? It just, some of this stuff is mind-boggling. These fears of recession are coming because of this garbage. America's dumping money overseas at alarming rates. That money's coming from somewhere. It's coming out of your pocket, my pocket, everywhere throughout the United States. People are losing money. Now, percentage of workers are expected to lose more income in the next 4 weeks. Americans should fear job loss because it's coming. These companies got to lay off people. I don't know if you've seen, even in the grocery store, a block of cheese used to be 8 ounces. Now it's 6 ounces. But more. You pay
Yeah.
more for the 6-ounce block of cheese you paid for that 8-ounce block not too long ago. And people aren't even realizing the downsizing of packaging that's happening. But that also downsizes the amount of people that are in the workforce because goods are costing a lot more. It costs more to produce a good than can't pay the people.
Hey, I just want to bring something up. Today, a New York City jury, or I should say a Manhattan jury, has found this guy who in 2017 drove his car on a sidewalk in Times Square for about 4 blocks. He killed an 18-year-old girl that was visiting with her parents and hit like 20 other people, some of them serious. And his car, you can look up the video on YouTube, the car got held up when it hit a concrete barrier. Anyway, so today a jury found him, what they say, mentally not responsible for his action. They found him mentally, the whole, what's that defense people,
Temporary insanity.
yeah. So now this guy's gonna be like, sent to like some kind of half house, psych house, and he's gonna be allowed to walk around, kind of like Mark, the guy who shot Reagan. So
Yeah.
here's what gets me, okay? But this guy, he's insane when he drives the car over people, but he wasn't insane, or he wasn't insane enough to drive the car to that location. I don't understand it. Where's the justice for this poor girl and her family?
And that's the thing is there is no justice anymore. The United States has gotten so woke. Literally, I'm going to say this again. We have gotten so woke that we don't even realize that what our own laws aren't being followed unless they apply to a Republican. Then they're getting hit with every single aspect of the code. They're taking away guns from legal gun owners, thinking the criminals are going to turn over their guns. First of all, if you do a shooting of any kind and it is not in self-defense, you are a criminal. You are automatically labeled a criminal. So you cannot say that these people who committed gun crimes are not criminals. They are. They had criminal intent in the first place. It drives me crazy. I mean, over $3.4 trillion has been wiped from retirement funds just in the United States over this inflation garbage. $3.4 trillion. And it's not the rich of the rich that are getting wiped. It's the people that are barely making it.
Yeah. I really wish the media would do their job and I actually ask Biden next time he's at the beach riding his bike on a weekend and say, hey, the country's in really bad shape. There's a lot of crap going on. Why are you here again? Why are you on vacation when you should be at the White House addressing the country's needs? They don't ask him that. But they questioned every time Trump went down and played golf.
Well, here's the saddest thing. I don't know if you guys know. 529, if you have kids, you probably know what a 529 is, right? I don't know if you do, Billy. It's a college savings plan.
Yeah.
College savings plan. Those college savings plans that were the big ones for major league schools that were $350,000, they're down $200,000 right now. They can't even even if you paid for one, it will not afford college.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous looking at that statistics. And then they're talking about bailing out these kids that, of course, got loans, but yet people that actually save the money can't afford to send their kids to school.
Yeah. All right, Chris, just want to check in, say hello. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Yeah, God bless, man. Stay strong.
You too, man. Have a good night.
Yeah. And who's going to benefit from this gas holiday? That's what my biggest concern is, because Biden's call for a 3-month suspension on the federal gas tax faces long odds of getting approved in Congress, or getting Congress even on board with it. But it's, 17 cents a gallon, 18 cents a gallon over 90 days? Of course, those 90 days, literally, we have 4th of July weekend coming up in less than a couple days. Gas prices are going to jump again as fuel usage. Over 43 million Americans are expected to be traveling on 4th of July weekend alone. The 18 cents a gallon will look like nothing when gas prices go up another 20%. Supply equals demand. There's only so much supply, and you have the demand, you can raise the prices, and that's what happens. We could wish that reducing the gas prices by $1 a gallon would help, and it'd be a very skeptical scenario for it to at least happen. Even Pelosi is not on board with bringing in a gas tax holiday. Think about the condition of our roads right now. Gas taxes are, of course, the main way of maintaining roads throughout the country, and we are having failing road system, failing bridges, and failing infrastructure all along the way. So we're now going to relieve the tax on that and let the structures fail even more? I don't think so. It doesn't help the American citizen. 17 cents doesn't. But it does hurt us in the long run. It is a sad, sad fact of the matter that even this game is being played. Biden's gas tax holiday is going to take flack from everybody, Republicans and Democrats alike. Even some industries are having a problem coping with it. Does not help anybody in America. It'll hit Americans and their pocketbooks in the long run, just like everything else we've been through. Yeah, what are you going to save? $17? $18 a month? That doesn't even get you an extra meal while you're eating your 2 meals a day, because you're on an already restricted diet because of income levels and issues with that. Then you're going to save a whole $18 a month on fuel. Say if you buy 100 gallons of fuel a month, if you buy that much. If not, you're not going to save 18 cents or $18. But if you do, you're going to save $18. What's that going to get you? One extra meal? One extra meal that month. So you get to have lunch one extra day. It's ridiculous. Yeah, quality of gas, of course, has gone down. We're running E85 and everything now, which you're going to get reduced gas mileage. And more smog. More environmental disasters, chemicals coming out of your exhaust running E85. It's not as efficient. It's not healthy for the environment whatsoever. It is a ridiculous situation that is not going to help Americans. It'll hurt us in the long run even more. I mean, if you had to purchase $15 in gas or 15 gallons of gas at the $4.98 right now a gallon, you would only save $3 out of the $75 cost for filling up the sedan. That is not helping anyone whatsoever. Biden cannot use an executive order in order to levy the gas taxes for 3 months. He cannot use an executive order. This has to pass through Congress, and it is not passing right now. We know that. Bad shape of events, but this is not going to be passing. Very, very sad what's happening. Yeah. 55. Yeah, but here's the thing, Rodney. When you're riding your 50cc scooter and you put ethanol in it or E85 in it, that scooter ain't going to last long. That water is going to rust those rings to those cylinders quicker than you can even imagine. And that's the problem. Well, William, here's the thing. The Democrats are trying to win the midterms by this gas tax holiday and anything they can throw. That's the reason these 3 month things are going to be coming up really quick, one after the other, pushing bad policy just to try to keep an election won. But even if the Republicans take over, there's no getting stuff actually passed. Biden just has to not sign it. All this is Biden not approving this, not approving it to be passed. Marrying a rich woman, that might work. A rich man. Besides that, we are seeing devastation. And devastation levels we haven't even seen for a long time. It is sad. Please, if you guys can afford to donate, please do. This is a very important subject for me, this donation that we have up here on the screen. This is actually my brother. He's already went through one surgery. Donating directly to them as well. If you look, you can see I've already donated $500 to this one. And I'll be donating more as well as we go through. But he truly needs this surgery in order for him to get back to his life. He doesn't want to be on disability, but that's the route he has to take right now. So at least apply for disability until he gets through this. But just watch, because now we got China, Russia sending anti-submarine destroyers streaming through the Twashun Straits, separating Japan and the South Korea. 5 more Russian ships in the flotilla have been near Japan's islands for a week now. China has at least 2 warships and a supply ship were spotted Tuesday, about 310 miles south of Tokyo. And the destroyer, with a Type 55 guided missile destroyer, one of China's most powerful surface ships, has also been spotted there. It's just bad shape of events. We're seeing China and Russia now just not moving in just on Taiwan, but actually moving in on Japan. And it's a strategical nightmare. Because Japan is a genuine alliance. And the alliance between Russia and China is holding strong. Yeah, he's having retinal eye surgery again. This time in his right eye. It's sad. Ukraine, of course, begging for more equipment because there is no Ukraine standing up long term to Russia. There's no fixing these issues. Of course, oil may tumble below, prices may slowly go down, but they're going to go right back up. Of course, as OPEC, of course, announced today, they plan on slowing fuel production again. In an endless cycle. I mean, we're only producing 12 million barrels a day here, 13 million if you include the release of the oil that Biden's doing from the reserve, which he shouldn't be doing. It's just one thing after another. I mean, We use 20 million barrels a day. We're producing 13 million. There is a huge, huge problem. And it's not going to go away on its own. With American job loss, of course, being the biggest fear and growing concern, as percentage of workers expected to lose income in the next 4 weeks is drastic. I mean, we're talking 15% of people making 100,000 or more. 15% of people making 100,000 or more losing their jobs. 11% making 50 to 100K a year losing their jobs, and people making under 50,000 a year. 13% of people are projected to lose their jobs in the next 4 weeks alone. Those numbers are very important. That's 39% of people. 39% of people employed right now in the United States. That's a drastic number for projections. Meaning we're in a serious recession, and we're not going to just pop right back out of it. Be prepared. Be ready. Got to be ready and be prepared. That's all I can say. But God bless you guys. And thank you guys if you donated. If you guys can't, we understand. Please, if you can't donate, go on the page and share the pinned post. Get it out there as much as possible so we can get his donations in. I already put the deposit down for his surgery, so it's already scheduled. So we need to raise the money as quick as possible. God bless you. God bless America. Good night.